I'm Eric Arneson. I'm going to help you bring your landscapes to life. Okay, so now that we have all our trees drawn with our lines, we can now begin to render them. So I'm going to go through and teach you a variety of marker rendering techniques that really help you create beautiful and luscious trees for your plant drawings. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work my same way down from the top to the bottom. I'm going to work with this deciduous tree here, and I'm going to imagine it's something like a red maple. And you want to show, when you're rendering trees, you want to show the character of the tree. So I'm going to draw this with its best character, which is its fall color. So I'm going to start with a very deep red. And I'm going to imagine as if the sun is shining from one point to the other. So I'm going to imagine the sun is shining from our bottom right to the top left. And that's going to create a highlight in this portion, and then a low light and a shadow on here. So I'm going to start by bringing in my darkest tone. I always like to start with my darkest tone because then you can easily blend lighter. You can always go darker, but you can't go lighter with markers. And be conservative with it a little bit. So just keeping it to this curve here, and adding another color that's this cadmium red. And I have a peach, which is a lighter red. I notice that cadmium red could also blend over there, so I'm going to bring some back through. Bring in the peach, and do some circular blending. Then I'm going to bring in an orange to give this a glow and a gradation. I'm going to bring that through and kind of blend it and stipple it a little bit in the darker parts, just to carry it through so it's not just a hard edge. And then my lightest color, which is the cadmium yellow, I'm going to bring on through to the light highlight. So what I now have is a nice glowing gradation, as if this red maple or deciduous tree that has fall color is really glowing in the sun. And it creates a 3D effect, as if this is an object that's three-dimensional, as opposed to what it really is a 2D drawing. That's really the goal with the marker rendering, is to add this character and liveliness to the drawing. So now we have the one fall color. We're going to come back and do just a deciduous tree with the green. We're going to start off with the dark tone, which is a jade for this green. Fill in that crescent shape, so it's the same exact technique for this tree. And our chrome, which is our mid-tone. Continue that crescent shape. And then celery, which is our lightest tone. Carry that through. Sometimes we have trees that are somewhat blue or glaucous, which means a grayish blue tone for plants. And what we're going to do is use very dark, deep evergreen color. And we're going to use the same technique where it's dark tone on a crescent side, crescent shape on the shadow side. This could be something like a deodar or a cedar, an atlas cedar, a very gray tone, or a spruce. Once again, stipple that through. All right, so another color combination that we can do, that some flowering trees have, is a purple gradation. I'm going to pick through my purple markers here, find some that will work. All right, so we're going to start with our dark tone, which in this case is a purple iris. And this could be a tree, something like a jacaranda. It's a very beautiful tree which grows in semi-tropical arid climates. They have very stunning purple flowers. And bring the darkest tone through, and something more of a rich mid-tone in this lilac color marker. Bring that through. And our light tone would be this purple sage. And try to blend that through. Now we have 4 completely different color choices for your landscape rendering. And sometimes what I like to do to add some more flair to these tree symbols is add some white highlights with a white paint marker. What I do there is just add some spots to this white tone to bring it to the lightest tone of the tree on the lightest side. You see I'm just adding a little bit of pops here and there. And the last touch for all these trees is to create a shadow on the darkest side. So how I do that is by getting a piece of trace paper. It's a very small piece that I can easily maneuver. And what I will do is trace over one of the tree symbols that's the same size. And I'll use that piece of trace as a stencil that I'll slide under my drawing and place at the angle opposite of the shadow, or where the shadow would be. And I will use a color that will represent the shadow. In this case, it will be a lilac, which I usually do for my shadows. And I'm just going to trace within the line where that shadow would be. And what this does is it creates a very nice and clean shadow that would actually be cast by this object if you were to draw it. Because if you were to freehand this, it wouldn't look exactly like the same shape. And you can see this would be pretty easy when you have a lot of trees. You can really do this pretty quickly. And for this purple tree, we're probably going to want to use a different color for the shadow, since this is the same tone. And sometimes for your shadows, you can use a very deep, dark blue, which is this deep evergreen. So there we go, there's 4 tree renderings that you can do in your drawings. I hope that helps with your landscape designs.